post-match press conference with Arsenal's head coach Josh Wolff. As always, please use your raise hand function if you'd like to ask a question. We have about 20 minutes and we'll get to as many questions as possible. Cam is working on giving everyone permission to record, so hang on a few seconds and then we'll get started. All right, everyone should have permission to record. First up, Chris Bills with the Striker, Texas.
Yeah, Josh, you guys have not been shut out at home since July. What difference did you see tonight? Obviously, Minnesota's a physical team, but it seemed like they really kind of took away some of what you've been doing so well with Musa Jite. Just wanted your thoughts on what Minnesota did to sort of take away that joy that you guys have found of late.
Yeah, I don't think I see it quite that way. I would disagree with that entirely. I think Musa did a good job bringing us into the game. They had made some tremendous saves, but I mean, statistically speaking, we hammered them in just about every category. We got access to pockets. We switched the point of attack. The only thing lacking, obviously, is the most important thing, which is a goal. But what did they take away? I'd be curious to hear what it is you saw that they took away. Physically in duels, we won 60 to 43, and we had about 6 good chances in the first 15 minutes. So, I appreciate the comment, but I think you're off base, and I think our guys performed extremely well, and we're unlucky to not score, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But I'm really proud of our performance. The performance was extremely good. The execution of what we wanted to do was excellent, and we came away with nothing. Tyler Miller made a few good saves. They had some extremely good last-ditch defending in both halves, and again, we give a ball away, we got punished for it, and that's the way this works in professional sports. But I couldn't disagree with you more.
Sure. No, I'll take that. I guess what I was more thinking about was like the second half, or like toward the end of the first half. It seemed like some of the things that some of the spaces that he was getting into, maybe, you've kind of made your point there. I'll have to go back and watch, but just where you guys are at in this season. Obviously, Minnesota is fighting for a playoff spot, and you guys are. I know you're playing for pride and playing for a lot of things toward the end of the season, but just in terms of the way they closed out the game, and you guys have been in that spot a few times and not been able to close. Can you just take me through what you see as far as like a difference with the way Minnesota kind of buttoned things up at the end tonight? Just the difference between a playoff team and a non-playoff team in this conference. Margins are tight, but
yeah, again, it's tough for me to decipher what you're saying there, but I think they did a good job, I guess, ending the game. We lost a little rhythm when we took out Diego. Obviously, he was getting leggy. When we bring him out, he's a good contributor to our attack. He's very calm, and him and Hector have a real good relationship. And I think that it certainly stagnated a bit when we made the change. We have some certainly limitations of those types of players on the bench, so I think we lose a little bit of that. And Musa also was getting fatigued. He took a beating. He created some decent chances for himself as well as for others. But they are a big physical team. It was always going to be difficult. Crossing the balls into their box with their big guys wasn't something that we wanted to do, but we did a good job getting around the edges, getting to the end line, really getting numbers in there, which was the important part, especially when you play against a physical, fairly organized back four like they had. And again, the thing lacking was the goal. So, that's somewhat quality, somewhat decision-making, just execution in front of goal. And again, Tyler Miller made some very good saves. So you got to give them credit and some of the individual defending and the ability to keep the ball out of the goal. But goals change games, and they're in the playoffs, and we're not out of the playoffs yet, but we're certainly on the outside looking in, and we continue to play. Performances like this go a long way. Obviously, for our fans and for being at home, it's disappointing to not score and not win. And again, I applaud our guys for everything they did. They were extremely good in many, many ways. And of course, the narrative can be delivered in a number of ways, and I'm sure you guys will do that.
Thank you, Josh. Next up, Sebastian Herrera.
Thank you. So, hello, Josh. This season is basically over. Are you thinking about the next season, or what's your next step, Josh? What's the best for the team?
We play on Wednesday in San Jose, so we'll turn our focus. We'll review this game, and we'll turn our focus onto San Jose. And I think we'll obviously see where guys are at. And we'll another team that's fighting for for their lives as well in the playoffs, and it's a great opportunity to play teams that are in that situation, as we are on the outside and as they are on the outside. Expect it to be intense, expect them to be a very heated match, and that's what it's like at the end of the year. So this experience is extremely good for all of us, the players, myself, and we got to continue to produce performances like this one, and then obviously do a little bit better job in front of goal and reward ourselves, because that's the only thing that was lacking tonight, and it's unfortunate, but we'll pick up and move on and get ready for the game Wednesday.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Next up, Mark Turner, last word on soccer.
Yeah, Josh, you mentioned that the only thing missing from tonight's match was obviously a goal. You arguably had your strongest attack out there today. So why do you think you weren't able to put the ball in the net tonight? And was it one of those games, Josh, as you were watching it, there was just kind of this sense of inevitability as one good chance after another? Wasn't able to be converted. You kind of suddenly thinking, man, this is not going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be frustrating looking at it that way, but I think our guys hung in there. They started extremely well. We created certainly the first 15 minutes, a really good job of coming into the game. There was some ebbs and flow in the first half. Obviously, their goal gives them a little bit of momentum and obviously gets them the lead. But there were so many good chances. Again, I mean, a number of good chances in front of goal, crosses that we're getting on the end of. And then there's some final actions. Again, just the calm and the quality. We get Zia in some good spots, Johnny at the end in some good spots. The delivery in front of goal could be better. The movement in front of goal. But again, I think our ability to navigate their group and break pressure and break lines and put them under a lot of pressure and sustain attacks, I think all of those things were very good. But it's you come away with no goals, which means we come away with nothing, and that's disappointing. But again, the spirit of the group is clear. Their effort and their tireless mentality to keep competing and grind for the goal. Again, Sebastian has an opportunity right there at the end to grab an equalizer, and it's for whatever reason it wasn't meant to be. But I think we continue to show we play good soccer. We create a lot of chances. We didn't give up a whole hell of a lot either. But that's the cruel world of this game, and we're on the wrong side of it tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Next up, Eric Goodman.
Yeah, Josh, so waiting to the 80th minute to make changes, is that because you thought you were playing well, and if you would just staying the course, you had a good chance to get back in the game, or does it have to do with depth? What was the thinking there?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, I think Musa and Diego had strong games, and the connections between Musa, Sebastian, Tomas as well. Tomas started to fade a little bit. It was one of us. It was a thought maybe that we could maybe maneuver him in a different way, but I think that was part of it. Obviously, Musa takes a beating, between two center backs competing, stretching the line, being used to help bring others into the game. And Diego was, again, I think he puts everything into it, and he was, most of our good attacks, or I'd say a lot of our good attacks. They produced down the right side a fair amount, and at times we progress across the field to Cece, but they would start on that right side, and we did a good job. And I thought Diego, Hector, and obviously the whole attacking group did a great job. But I think we held because we felt they were getting us still opportunities. We're still getting in good situations, and you don't have a like for Diego. He's a really unique player, plays between lines, super calm. And has a really good relationship with Musa, with Sebastian, and certainly with Hector. And then obviously bringing in Mackenzie, it's a different profile, but we still want to utilize his feet are good enough that we can bring him into the game. But he ultimately has speed that can challenge you in the channel and get behind. So it wasn't like for like subs, but I also don't know that we had the same profiles that would match that. But the guys did really well. I didn't want to take them out, but physically I think we needed to, and that's where we were left with.
Coach, looks like we have time for one more question. Cam Kubik, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. So obviously not the end result you wanted tonight, but still a lot of positives to take away from the performance as you look ahead to that San Jose game, like you mentioned. What are those main positives that you're going to take away going into the final 5 games of the season?
Yeah, I think the first thing is the amount of good chances that we created. I think Johan and Julio and Alex did a really good job breaking the first line of pressure and how we were able to now address their midfield line. So from a attacking style of play that we wanted and what we thought we would get access to, what we worked on all week was really clear. We did a really nice job of that, and we attacked the edges really well. We got end line, we got around their back line. We started on one side, finished on the other. Some really nice coordinated attacks, good movements. and we lacked the killer punch in front of goal, and good saves, poor execution, or just marginally off. And it cost us. This game is margins. We've had 12, 11, 12 one-goal games. So those are our games that, again, can hinge on, scoring goals, scoring multiple goals. And that's something that we're going to have to get better at, obviously, the rest of the season, but looking into next year. But a lot of positives, seriously, a lot of positives. And I think I told our guys, be pissed off. Don't be disappointed. Be pissed off because, there was so much good in there. It's not a performance to be disappointed in. It's a result to be pissed off about. And that's where we're going to focus on going forward. A lot of good here. And San Jose is a good team. They're a physical team as well. And, we'll have our hands full with them, and we'll try to give them problems as well.
Thanks, Josh. That was the last question for head coach Josh Wolff today. We'll be joined with Brad Suber in a few seconds. So please stay on the call.
Thank you, guys.